Who passed with the alcoholism? I keep having a soul that's here that's showing me they passed with alcoholism.
We know somebody who passed who had substance abuse issues.
Who is that to you?
Would that be your dad?
My,
But
well,
he killed himself.
yeah, he ended up committing suicide after using drugs and alcohol.
That's what I want to talk about. Because listen, even though he may have passed of suicide here in this world, he does show me that he was an alcoholic here in this world. Do you understand that?
He never touched alcohol until after him and my mother had gotten divorced, and then he just couldn't stop after that.
Here's what's crazy. Your loved ones, when they come through, they show me the timeline of what had happened. Like first this happened, then this happened, and this happened, and then I died. And right away, your father's coming through because he shows me, he showed me alcohol bottles being put aside. He says, and the one thing that he wants to let you know is thank you for trying to save me. Your father's telling me that you had conversations with him about this. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And your father, first of all, wants to tell you that he's sorry for disappointing you. You know, he's coming through right now because even though your dad had these problems and had these issues here in this world, he tells me that he never was discluded from your life. You always tried to pull your dad back into you. You always tried to go and to keep him a part of you and a part of what you were doing. And your dad is telling me right now that he owes you such a big apology. Because first of all, he's sorry for the way that he was found. And more importantly, it's so tough because since your dad died, he tells me that you've been holding on to all of that hurt every single day. And your dad tells me that, you know, he says, I never wanted to hurt you like this. I never wanted you to have to question any of these things. I never wanted you to have to go through and think about my passing and feel responsible. You know, your father tells me the one thing that he needs you to know is that now that he's on the other side, he feels like he's gotten to know you in a completely different way. He tells me that he's gotten to see so much of your life. And more importantly, your dad tells me how self-taught you are. Like that you're always teaching yourself certain things. And what is it with you working on the car? Did you just start working on your car?
I recently had to fix my own blazer, and I've been teaching myself how to change oils and transmission fluids. And
your dad is showing me, he goes, I can't believe what my son's doing. He shows me you under the car and like working on the car and doing certain things with the car. And your father's going to me, oh my God, I missed all of this. I missed all of this. You know, these were things that you were already doing within your life because your dad tells me that you're a builder. You can make things. Is that true?
Yeah.
Because he talks about like, you know, in construction and you like, you know how to do so many things. You know how to do like plumbing work. He showed me all these different things that you can do. And your dad didn't know the full extent. He knew that you were handy, but he didn't know just the type of person that you were. He didn't know all of these things that you've learned, all of these ways that you've been self-taught. But your dad can see that now. And he keeps talking about, did you two just buy a house?
Yeah, we bought a house.
A couple years.
Okay, he's saying congratulations on the house, congratulations on the house. So I don't know if he didn't get to see that here in this world.
He didn't.
He passed at 17.
Okay, so your father's telling me congratulations on the house because he shows me that purchase. And your dad tells me that you're doing all the work in the house yourself.
Yeah, as much as I can keep up with.
He built some cabinets.
He's telling me about the kitchen. He's telling me about the fact that you've been hiring other guys to come into work with you or been trying to do the house with you. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And your father wants to let you know how proud he is of you. Because you think in your mind, you said, oh my God, I wish my dad could have saw this. I wish my dad could have saw, you know, this house that we've been building, the life that we've been building, everything that we've been building. Who would have thought? And you know, one of the things that your dad is so proud of you about, it's not about what you have, but about how grateful you are, because you are so grateful every day for the life that you have, for the house that you have, for the things that you have in your life. And your dad tells me that you appreciate every single thing that you have. Do you understand that?
I do.
And your father says to me, because he tells me that you say to, and this is your wife?
Yeah.
Because he tells me that you say to your wife all the time, we're so lucky, we're so lucky, we're so lucky that we have this, we're so lucky that we can do that. And your father says to me, listen, he goes, that's the one thing in my life that I was missing. He says, I was missing gratitude. He says, I always looked at the things that I didn't have in life. He says, I never looked at the things that I did have. He says, and that was my biggest problem. He said, I had so much. He says, but I didn't realize it till after I had passed. He says, and he was so upset about the divorce and about the things that had gone wrong in his life that he never focused on the good things that were happening. And one of that was having a relationship with you. So even though your dad didn't get to tell you these words here in this world, this is his way of acknowledging from the other side that he sees all of this. Now, this is crazy right now. Is there a dog buried in your yard?
We did bury one of our dog Pebbles.
Because I'm seeing this dog that's coming through that's also with your father. So know that that soul is there and with you, because even our pets make it to the other side, and I'm hearing of that dog that's there. Your dad tells me one other thing. He says to me that the one thing that he's acknowledging is that he's sorry for the way that he was found the day that he died.
Yeah.
Because that's something that you go back to when you think about all the time. You know, your father says to me, I don't want these last moments of my life to haunt you or to come in between us in the way that we think about one another. Your dad says to me, the one thing that I want is to see what I'm seeing right now. And this is crazy. He's also talking about children with you as well.
Yeah, we have 2 and a third on the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
But see, I didn't want to say anything, good thing, because he kept saying to me, I kept hearing there was a bun in the oven, but I didn't want to say it in case you didn't want it out there. Because I know sometimes it's sensitive, but your father's telling me that he met your children on the other side, and he's congratulating you already on having that third.
Oh, thank you.
Because your father says to me, not only are you a good husband, he says, but you're going to be an amazing dad. You already are with the children that you have. So your father says to me, he goes, you know, even though there were times in my life that I disappointed you, he says to me, he needs you to know that you have never disappointed me. He says, I am so proud to call you my son. He says, to watch over you, to see the things that you've built within your life. He says, and also to see your wife as well. So know that I know that this was something that you were not expecting. This was not a reading that you would think would ever happen to you.
No.
But know that your father's there. And this is crazy right now as well. Your father's remembering back when you were in the day, were you obsessed with lighting things on fire? What's the connection with you talk about being a pyromaniac?
I
he is.
accidentally set a plastic barrel on fire inside the garage when I was about 11 or 12.
He still is.
Your father says to me, he says, you know, he goes, one thing that's never changed with him, tell him to stop lighting shit on fire, he's telling me.
Thank you. I've been telling him that.
What the hell are you burning in Missouri? What do you do? What is there to light on fire?
We like our bonfires.
Your father tells me, he goes, holy hell, he goes, tell him I can see it from heaven, he's telling me. So your father saying to me, he goes, oh my God, he goes, you know, he goes, you can dress him up, but you can take him out. He goes, he's got all this with his life. He goes, but he says he's still obsessed with burning down the backyard, your father's telling me.
Yeah.
But know that this is his way of acknowledging from the other side that he is truly with you. So even though sometimes, because he tells me, listen, I got to be honest with you. And your father just said to me that you were questioning heaven, that you didn't know if heaven was real, if the afterlife is real, if any of this was real.
Yeah.
This is your validation. By your dad coming through today, this is his way of showing you that there is so much more to life than what we see. And more importantly, there is a heaven, there is another side, and we do make it there. So this is your dad's way of coming back and showing that to you. So know that even though it's upsetting and even though it's tough living life without him, know it's your father's way of letting you know that he did make it to this side. He is with you and he is watching over your family.
Thank you so much.
I really hope that this helped you.
It did.
Now your father knows, by the way, because your father I have to call you out on this because your father knows you're going to go and have a beer after this. Because your father goes to me, he goes, you know, when he gets stressed out, he's going to be sitting down with his beer and being like this, like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. You're going to be thinking about this for the next couple hours.
Oh yeah.
He says, but no, he goes, that this is my way. He goes, I had to let you know beyond a doubt that I was here.
Thank you so much, Matt.